So y'all noticed that we got the Dawgfatha's football jersey on. That's right, guys, we've been waiting since February for football season to get here, and it's finally here. So what does that mean exactly? That means we get to break out our favorite football foods. Now, we all love our chicken wings for our football parties, but you know what? What about ribs? Can we get the ribs some love? So today, we're gonna do some hot lemon pepper garlic party ribs on Barbecue Boulevard. So if you with it, let's get it. So that's right, guys, party ribs today. Now we're gonna be using our Weber kettle, and we're gonna run it along with harder charcoal. We're gonna be using the medium-sized lump charcoal for this. So let's get into it. All right, so we're gonna get our Weber kettle set up here. Now we've got our cooking rack pulled out. We've got our slow and sear installed. Now what I'm gonna do for easy cleanup later is I'm putting aluminum foil in on my protein side so it catches all of my drippings. Therefore, it makes for an easy cleanup for later. So now we're gonna get some charcoal put in our slow and sear. Okay, now that we've got our charcoal put in, we're gonna light it up. And I'm using my Luft X cordless lighter. Okay, so now that we've got our charcoal lit, we're just gonna let this come up to temperature. But I've got some cherry chips that I'm just gonna sprinkle throughout. All right, we're gonna get our cooking rack put back in here. And we're just gonna let this charcoal come up to temperature. Okay, guys, now here we've got a rack of ribs here. These are already gonna be St. Louis cut. Got them from my local grocery store. I typically buy the full spares and cut them down, but you know what? I went ahead and got these just to make it a faster cook today. So we're gonna get them trimmed up a little bit here. And all we're gonna do is just take off, you know, stuff like this little straggly fat that may be on here. We're gonna get that taken off. There's not really a whole lot of fat here on the end, so I'm not gonna be too meticulous about it, but I'll take a little bit off of here. And that's really pretty much all I'm gonna do to this meat side. So we're gonna get it flipped over here, and it's got a pretty decent little skirt here on the back side of it. So we're gonna take that off. This is excellent to grill up and make a taco or something with it. So we're definitely not gonna throw this away. Okay, so now we've got this rack of ribs pretty much trimmed up the way we want. And then all we're gonna do is we're gonna cut them into individual ribs here. Okay, so now we've got all of our ribs all sliced up individual here, party ribs if you will, and now we're gonna get them seasoned up. Now our first layer that we're gonna be putting on is gonna be this Pitmaster cheese, and this is gonna be the SPG. So we're just gonna get a good little dose here on the ribs here on the back side. And you notice we did not take off the membrane, and I'm okay with that. Now our second layer we're gonna put on is also Pitmaster cheese, and this is gonna be the hot lemon pepper garlic. So we're gonna get a good liberal dose on here as well. We're gonna kind of pat this in. Remember, never rub in your rubs, always pat them in. And then we're gonna flip it over and do the same thing on the meat side. All right, so now that we've got these ribs all rubbed up here, they're ready to go on the grill. So let's get them onto the kettle. All right, so we're gonna get our ribs put on here. It's really in no particular order. I'm just getting them on and getting some space in between them so they can get a good smoke bath here. All right, so we got our ribs on here. They've got some good space in between each of them. That way they can cook evenly, smoke evenly, all of that. And now we're gonna get our lid put on and go ahead and indirect cook these ribs. Always remember to put the vent over your protein to create that offset cooking. And we're gonna have our lid about a quarter open here. My bottom vents are wide open, and we're gonna check back on these ribs here in about an hour. So guys, there's tons of favorite football foods out there that I know you guys like to make for your football parties. So tell you what, pop it down there in the comments. Let me know, what is your favorite football food that you like to make for your football parties? Let's talk about it. All right, guys, we've been going for about an hour, so we're gonna check it out. All right, so as you can see, we're starting to come along. Obviously, we still got a ways to go on this, but we're coming along nicely. And all I'm gonna do is flip these ribs over. Again, I just wanna make sure that I'm getting a good, even cook on these ribs all the way throughout. So that's why we're gonna flip them over. And then we're gonna get the lid put back on, and we're just gonna keep this cook going. Guys, welcome back to the channel. I am Alton, aka the Dawgfatha, and this is Barbecue Boulevard, where my aim is to help elevate your backyard grilling game. Now, if you're enjoying what you're seeing here, or at least finding some value in what you're seeing here, please consider giving me that thumbs up and subscribing to the channel and enable that bell so you get notified every time we upload a video to this channel. All right, so let's get back to this cook. All right, guys, it's been a little over 2 hours, so we're gonna take a look here. All right, so as we can see, we're getting a great color on these ribs. They're looking about like I want them to look. I don't think I want them to get too much darker. So we're gonna go ahead and pull these ribs off and move on to the next step. All right, so next up, we're gonna develop our sauce here. Now, I've just got a stick of butter in here and some lemon juice. So we're gonna get that over and kind of melt that down. Along with our lemon juice and our butter, I've got some seasonings we're gonna put in here. Now, we've got some paprika, some crushed red peppers, some onion powder, some garlic powder, and some cayenne pepper. So we're gonna get this tossed in. We're also gonna put a little bit more of our hot lemon pepper garlic rub in here. We're just gonna work this around. All right, guys, so we've got our sauce well together. So let's get this put on the ribs. All right, so we're just gonna pour our sauce right over these ribs. Just like that. Okay, all of our ribs are in here. We've got all of our sauce in. Now what we're gonna do is just cover this up with foil. All right, so now that we've got these all covered in foil, we're gonna get them back on our grill. Okay, ribs are back on our grill. We're gonna get our lid put on, and at this point, we are just gonna let these go long enough to get to the tenderness that we're looking for. Hey gang, do you listen to barbecue podcasts? Well, if you do, come check us out on the Black Smoke Barbecue Podcast. We've got some phenomenal guests that's appearing on our show, and I think you're gonna enjoy it. And alongside of that, we've got Harder Charcoal as one of the official sponsors of the Black Smoke Barbecue Podcast. So come check us out, the Black Smoke Barbecue Podcast. All right, so our ribs have been going here for about an hour, so we're gonna check them out. All right, so we're gonna pop this open here. And yeah, they're looking good. All right, so we're just checking for tenderness to see. Oh yeah, they're nice and tender. Nice and tender, guys. So we're gonna get these ribs off here. All right, guys, so we got our ribs out of our sauce here, and we're just gonna put them on the grill here to let them go for about 20 minutes or so, just to firm up a little bit. And man, they're gonna be ready to go after that. So I'm gonna get the lid put back on. The next time you see these, we're gonna get them off the grill. I will have rested them, and then we're gonna taste them. So lid back on, and we'll see you guys in a little bit. All right, guys, so here we've got our ribs, and they are looking phenomenal. I'm loving the way they look, the sheen on them. I basically took the butter sauce that we had here and brushed it on as I put it on my cutting board here, just for presentation kind of thing. But anyway, our ribs are here, they're done. We're ready to go into it now. So I'm gonna grab this one right out of the middle here. And the good thing about party ribs and cutting them individually is you get that crust all the way around each individual rib. So everybody's got their own bark, if you will, on every bite of rib. So here's our rib, guys. Let's go in for that bite. All right, cheers. Hopefully you guys are getting a good look at that, because man, that's a perfect bite for me. This is a phenomenal flavor on these ribs, like hot, spicy, lemon, pepper, garlic. I mean, dude, what's not to love about that? But anyway, hey, I enjoyed this. Hopefully you did too. And you know what? Check out what I got listed right there. Click on that subscribe button, and I'm gonna see you in the next video. About to get into more of these ribs. Yeah, buddy.